All right, folks, another little video here on Connect. I thought I would show you um, just about how to set things up. So you can see here in my, um, this is my anatomy and physiology lab. I've set things up kind of by a week in here, and I'll show you how I did this. Um, and for me, even I'm setting these up by weeks, even if I'm not having them do something in Connect, just as a placeholder, honestly, for me. So for instance, you can see here week 4 tissues is in Moodle. Um, and so that's just a place for me to kind of keep things. The other thing I'm doing is going ahead and putting due dates here so students can easily see them. Um, but I think I already showed you kind of how to add an assignment, right? So for instance, just go to add assignment, and if you want to do a lab or if you want to do a question bank, you can pick either one of those. One of the things I wanted to show you with question banks is sometimes depending on what you pick, so if I go to the virtual labs and I want to ask a question that came from one of the labs, I think the diffusion osmosis one is a good one to kind of show you what I mean here. Um, what you'll notice is when you click that diffusion osmosis lab, it pulls questions from all of the diffusion osmosis labs and not just the ones that you assign. Um, so what you might want to be careful of is sometimes these questions might not pertain exactly to the lab that you had them do. Um, I mean, they still should be able to find the answers to the book and things like that if you want to let them find that way. But one thing I wanted to show you is over here on the left, you can sort questions by subtopic. And when you do that, you can pick the individual labs. So, for instance, let's say the only lab you had them do is maybe the effects of concentration on the rate of diffusion. So, if I click on that and then filter results, then it should give me only the questions that pertain to that. And then still, you might want to go through and read a bit to make sure that the question that you ask is one that pertains to uh, those things. And so you can select multiples of these and filter results, or just one of them and filter results, and that'll help you narrow down a little bit. And then you can always sort by question type, right? So check all that apply, or just multiple choice, or ranking, or short answer. I'm trying to stay away from anything that I'm going to have to manually grade, and so I'm trying to do true, false, multiple choice, that kind of thing. So that's one thing to pay attention to here. And so I'm just going to create a I'm just going to create a I'll just call this a test assignment because I'm going to delete it here in a second because I just want to show you guys a thing or two here. Right, so I'm just going to select some questions here, and then I'm going to add those questions. Continue, review and assign. So I'm just have to pick up I have to pick a date. I'm just trying to create a random assignment here so I can show you how to do the groups. Right, so and then there it would be, right? And so the way you do these groups, the way you create these groups is, so up here at the top, this little stack of papers, it looks like, if you come down, so hover over that and come down to group, and then add, and then you can name it what you want. So I'm just going to name this one test group. And then if you want to give some kind of optional description there, you can. So I'll save that. And then you'll see it's there at the bottom. Right, so now if I want this test assignment to go down into that test group, all I have to do is hover over the left-hand side here where it's got that little bar, click and hold, and then drag it down into test group, uh, and there it is, right? And so you can see I've done that for a number of these, right? So in week 1, I have the tutorial and a couple safety labs, and then some questions for them. Week 2, right, I have the macromolecules with some chemistry questions, so on and so forth, right? And so that's kind of how I'm setting mine up. Um, if you want to delete things, right? So if I want to go in and delete this test assignment, so I'll open that up, click there, and then come back up here to the top, and then go delete. And it's going to ask me if I want to, then I go OK. Um, to delete groups, it took me a while to figure this out for whatever reason, because it's in a weird spot, I think. But to delete groups, you come back up here to the top, hover over, go to group, and then go to edit. And then you can find the group that you want to delete, test group. Click on delete, right? And then it's going to actually make you type in the word, I guess, just to be certain that you want to delete it. And then you click OK, right? And then if you just close this, you'll see that that group is now gone, right? Now, that's just a little bit. Now, there were some questions this morning. Denise brought some questions this morning about syncing this thing with Moodle, and uh, the only thing I can tell you is we're kind of jumping into this head first. So we're just going to have to see how this plays well with Moodle, and getting students to and from it. And so I think everybody's going to have a little bit of a learning curve here once students get started. But I'm going to try to put out some of these videos as you guys ask questions to kind of help you along through this. But for now, that's adding assignments, selecting questions that may pertain to a particular lab, creating groups. If you have any questions or want me to create a specific type of video, if I can, if I know how to do it, I certainly will do that. So just let me know.